Then, now this is interesting. Reverend Jelks, who got the church, used to pastor here in Memphis. He and my dad were great friends. He and Aretha's father were great friends. And then he was called to Chicago. The church he used to pastor here, some of the members were dissatisfied with what was happening in the church. And they called him up and said, Reverend Jelks, would you come down here and organize us? We're going to organize another church. So he came. This was 1959. He came down. He said, you all should go back to your church. I said, no, we're not going back. We're unhappy. So he organized them into a church, Monumental Baptist Church, 34 people. He called me up. The convention had its Congress here that year. And he called me up and said, boy, and that's all he ever called you. Boy, are you going to the convention, to the Congress? I said, yes. He said, I got some folk down there that organize a new church. They're good people. I want you to preach for them while you're there. I said, okay. And so I came. They didn't have anything. They didn't have a collection plate. They didn't have a place to meet. They were meeting in homes. And the Sunday I came, they rented an auditorium in the projects to have service. And the big thing was, why did Reverend Jelks send that little old boy down here? And they tease me about it now. And I preached for them that morning at the church. And they ran to the phone and called Reverend Jelks. Do you think he'll stay another Sunday so we can get some more people to hear him? And he said, why don't you ask him? So they asked me if I would stay another Sunday, and I said yes. And I did.
And that was how many years ago?
46 years ago.
Must have been a really good sermon. Really good.
Ben Hooks was one of my first ministerial friends here in Memphis. And as I talked about what I planned to do, well, before that, as it turned out, I really was excited about what the students were doing, sitting in and all that. I said, that is exciting. I'd like to be in that. Oh, I'd like to be a part of that. And all of a sudden, when Reverend Jelks said, boy, this is a chance, he said, you ought to take that church. They want to call you. He said, somewhere to go and somewhere to learn. You can learn something. And, you know, it's an easy ride to Memphis and back if you don't move. Anyway, I did that. And Ben, when I was telling Ben what I was going to do, I was going to put my ushers in shocking pink. I was going to paint the doors red when we finally get a church. He said, boy, you ain't going to last 10 minutes in this town. This is Chicago. I went to cocktail parties and stuff that Baptist preachers didn't do. He said, you are not going to last 6 minutes in this town. I invited him to preach my 40th anniversary. I said, 6 months, huh? Now, that was the beginning of Mount Pleasant, of Monumental.